So we need to understand that this is the other nature, and inside of that nature is peace. When you embrace his nature, his spirit, his intrinsic state of being, there's peace in that nature. And so he's saying that that's what you need in order to inherit the kingdom. Because he says those who are in the flesh cannot inherit the kingdom. This is not what you were taught in church. This is not how they see it. They don't understand it. This is about his nature. So what is his nature? I do what the Father says. Nothing I do goes against what the Father says. I only say what he says to say and do what he says to do. That is what Yeshua told us, because he fully embraced his Father's nature. And so that's where the obedience part comes in. He covenanted with us, just like he did with Israel at Sinai, saying, this is how you embrace my nature. In the meantime, he needs to take away all of our excuses and all of our justifications and say, no, you guys, you made this bed, you were laying in it, and I let you get it all the way to the point of complete annihilation. And that's when I intervened before that happened. So there, the videotape will be there. So when people go, hey, wait, we could have figured this out. Oh, really? Let's play the tape. Yahweh says over and over again in the scriptures, do not forget where you came from, who you were. You were stupid. Not stupid like, I'm saying whatever, when you look at people and you think they're stupid, you were them. Whatever you think was foolishness, you were that. Be careful that old thing, you point the finger, all these other ones point back at you. You're pointing your finger at everybody. How do you forget that that was you? Were you born and raised in all of this? Did you know all these things from the time you came out of the womb? Where is your passion mixed with compassion? Where you have a passion for other people to get there, but compassion to let them get there in his timing as he calls it and as he draws them. I know this is a hard concept for all of you, but when you want to help somebody, it is only helpful if they think it's helpful. This is a real problem for wives especially. When I have discussions with husbands and wives, well, I was just trying to help him. I look at the husband, did you feel it was helpful? No. Okay, well then it wasn't helpful. Ladies, you have to understand that. All of you need to understand that with each other. You want to help somebody, make sure that they actually understand that you're trying to help and that it's helpful. It's not helpful if they don't think it's helpful. You can't make your children get it. You can't make your parents get it. You can't make your siblings get it or your friends get it. You have no ability to do this. I know Christianity taught you to go and get in everybody's face and preach the gospel and blah, 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 blah. That is completely anti the scriptures, okay? You're trying to do something that's completely against scripture. It says very clearly, no one comes unless the Father draws. No one. And the Father is revealed by the Son, and the Son is revealed by the Father, period. Look, I counsel a lot. One of the things I counsel people is that you cannot hold two emotions in your head and in your heart at the same time. You can't have peace and worry and stress. You can't have love and hate. You can't have joy and bitterness and upset or whatever's the opposite of joy. You can't hold those two things in the same space. Same thing with this metaphor here. You can't hold the heavenly and the earthly in your vessel at the same time. Because he tells us they're at enmity to each other. We desire fleshly desires. We have earthly mindsets, earthly desires. We need to shift that to heavenly mindset and heavenly desires. That is how we can find peace. There is no peace in the flesh. There is no peace in the earthy things, the things from below. The peace only comes when we bring the above into the below. When we as the vessel receive that from above and walk in it in the earthly setting. You have to find a way to replace your fleshly desires with his. By the way, it's his pleasure to give you what you really want, but he's going to give it to you the right way. Because what you really want is joy and peace and love and happiness and all those kind of things. But your way of receiving it, now let me rephrase it, your way of achieving it isn't going to work. If it worked, you wouldn't be here because you'd be happily doing that. There's a reason why you're attached to it emotionally. You were like a drug addict. You were addicted to it. It gave you something that you were addicted to. You've been mainlining the world. Okay, you've been suckling on the world. Well, you need to get off of that, and that's going to put you through like you would think from a drug, a detox. You're going to go through the whole meltdown of the detox.